Yeah. You kind of got your walking papers, before you came into treatment. It was not
Oh yeah,
going smoothly.
there was no guarantees. It was probably leaning more toward divorce because of how long I had lied about changing. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then never doing it, and always letting her down and fucking lying about stuff. And you know, I was on the chopping block, man, big time.
And how's the relationship with your wife and your son today?
Oh man, it's one that I think about it and I kind of get a little emotional, man. It's pretty cool. It's one that I always wished I could have and could never do it.
I think one of the struggles for all of us, right, is we're used to the quick fix. We're used to that instant gratification. And yet when we get out of treatment and when we start the recovery process, it's a slow process, man. I always talk about it with the clients that it's not sobriety, it's slow briety. This stuff takes some time. And was it a long process for you to start repairing some of those things with your family?
It took years. I'm not trying to sound negative, but it's, something that my sponsor had told me early in the meeting with him. He goes, "You know what, man? He just told me what it was like for him, and it took at least 3 years for his wife to even start believing that he was going to change." And that's exactly what I needed to hear because, as soon as I start doing good, I want to have praise and, know that I'm doing well. And that wasn't the relationship we had anymore. And so it probably took a good, 2.5 to 3 years where I started to really notice her kind of calming down and and giving me a little bit more slack, believing that, when I told her I was going to go somewhere, I can feel that she was believing that I was telling her where I was really going,
Exactly.
because I would lie so much about where I was really going.
It takes a while for
You
that
know,
trust to come back. Right.
and that's why I think the term vigilance is so important, because it it takes a lot of it, man. It really
Right.
does.
But worth it.
Oh, oh yeah. I wouldn't change it for the world. That's why I'm stopping halfway in my workday to sit down and do this with you. This is my life today. This is the things that I need to do to remember where I came from, and why all the hard work is worth it. I can't even tell you how good my life is today. Well, we talk all the time. So, for the people that you're going to show this to, my life was falling apart because of AA and the things that I
Yeah.
do. My life wouldn't be where it is today. I wouldn't, I wouldn't have the trust that I have in my wife. I wouldn't have the relationship I do with my son. I wouldn't even be here. It's the reason why I'm taking the time out of the middle of my workday to sit down and do this with you, because uh, sobriety comes first. It comes before anything else. I wouldn't have the things in my life today if it wasn't for Alcoholics Anonymous and meetings and the people in it. Um, I work really hard every day, and it's more than worth it. The harder I work, the better I feel. The harder I work towards sobriety, the better I feel. It's the craziest thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. I wouldn't be here. In just 6 short years, my wife and I have a better relationship. I'm a better father. I started my own company. Um, people trust me, and I'm trustworthy. And I wasn't that before.
And it is possible to stay connected during COVID because we are hitting the Zoom meetings. We're chatting like this. We're still connecting, sending gratitude lists in the morning. And I mean, it's possible. You just got to adapt to your situation, man. How bad do you want to stay clean and sober, right?
Oh yeah, that's the real question that's asked as soon as you start sobriety is, are you willing to go to any length? I'm not somebody to sit in front of a camera and talk. I didn't want to do that, but
Right.
I want to stay sober more than I want to have to risk, going back to the old life. I don't want to do that.
Right. Right on, man. Well, I do appreciate that you did stop your day to talk to me. I kept you a little longer than I promised, so thanks, man.
It's all good. Thanks for asking me, and I appreciate the chance to talk with you.
Right on. All right, buddy. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. We'll talk to you soon.